Friends, in this video, I'm going to speak with you about a proposal, another stimulus proposal that would give people $1,200 to return to work, to get back to work. Yes, an incentive to get back to work. Stick around for those details. But before we get into it, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I'm Latoya McBean Pompey. I'm an immigration lawyer, and I've been talking a lot about, obviously, immigration and also about stimulus because we're all concerned citizens, right? And whatever our leaders in Washington do, it will impact me and you. And so it's been so much fun having these discussions with you. So get into the community chat. Let me know what your thoughts are about what I'm sharing in this video. All right, so let's get into it. So friends, stimulus issues have basically been up and down, right? Up and down. One week it looks positive. The next week it's like, okay, what's going on? Oh, nothing's going on. Then the next week it's like, oh, negative news. So it's been really up and down. So the latest is this, in short, before I get into this proposal, the latest is this. The House and the Senate have not yet come together in agreement on legislation that would put stimulus dollars into your hands. They've been talking, negotiating, proposals are being put on the table, but both chambers haven't really come together in some sort of unified way around one legislation that they can then put on the desk of Donald Trump for him to sign off on. So they're still going through the motions, in essence, right? So they're still doing their thing. One of the proposals that's on the table right now, it's a Republican-led proposal, and this proposal will actually encourage people to get back to work. And so here are the details. Representative Kevin Brady out of Texas, he's a Republican, introduced a bill called Reopening America by Supporting Workers and Businesses Act of 2020. Now, Representative Brady, he's in the House. He's on the very powerful committee called the House Ways and Means Committee. And this is a committee that holds the purse, right? This is the money committee. If there's any committee to be on Capitol Hill, it's the money committee, Ways and Means, and also Judiciary Committee. So this representative put this legislation out there because apparently, as he argues, you know, employers are reaching out to their workers who have been laid off. They're reaching out to them and say, hey guys, come back to work. Get back to work. We have this loan, we have this paycheck protection dollars, and you know, we want you guys to come back to work. And so word on the street is that people are like, no, I'm not going back. I'm actually making more money right now on unemployment benefits versus if I were to come back and sit at this desk at your office or do whatever. So I don't know how widespread this is, guys. I don't know, you know, the numbers here in terms of how many employers are in this position. In any event, it must be significant enough for this congressman to put this legislation together and offer an incentive to woo people back to the jobs that they held before they were laid off. Before I get into the mechanics of how this will work, here's another background piece that you should be aware of. Under the CARES Act, right, which passed several weeks ago, remember that first stimulus check, the $1,200, it came out of that CARES Act. And under the CARES Act, the legislation provided $600 weekly unemployment benefits to individuals who are eligible for unemployment benefits. Now, many of these folks are eligible for benefits under their state unemployment laws. And so then the feds, the federal government, added another layer of funding, the $600 boost, right, on what folks had already been receiving. So this could actually add up to a lot of money, guys, a lot of money. We're talking thousands of dollars a month. And so some people have actually benefited from being on unemployment benefits versus actually being at work. And now here's how this legislation works. It says, we're going to give you, the person who is receiving that $600 unemployment benefit, we're going to give you $1,200 to encourage you to get back to work. And it's kind of like a hiring bonus, right? $1,200 hiring bonus. And the bonus would be available to claimants beginning a week after the date of the legislation and end on July 31st, 2020. So it's according to this proposal, if this legislation goes somewhere significant, or this legislation, these elements are adopted into some other larger stimulus package, then the idea is for these claimants to receive this bonus a week after the legislation is enacted and end July 31st. So that's what this proposal is about. But this actually leaves out a whole lot of people, right? We're talking about folks who are on Social Security benefits. They're not part of this. And then everybody else who's not receiving the $600 unemployment benefit, everyone else is out. Everyone else is out. And so what people are thinking today is, I wonder if this legislation or this proposal will actually replace the $1,200, a second stimulus check that will be more broadly distributed to everybody else. So is it going to be one or the other, or is it going to be both? Well, we have to see. We have to see how the debate continues on Capitol Hill, but this is what some people are beginning to think, that this will actually replace the second stimulus check, and this proposal is so narrowly focused on those who are receiving that $600 unemployment benefits currently. And by the way, those benefits are ending at the end of July. So it's going away. It's going away, so people will need to get back to work anyway. So anyway, friends, I will keep you guys posted on this proposal, and as our leaders on Capitol Hill are still talking about what to do and how much money to put in the hands of Americans. Now, the Republicans are very much in favor of some sort of incentive like this to encourage people to get back to work. What the dollar amount will ultimately be, we don't know that yet, whether it will be $1,200 like in this proposal or whether it's going to be something less like $600. We're going to have to wait and see. Friends, I hope you found this video helpful. Please be sure to share it with other people, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.